All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to get underway here with our second NACE Starleague matchup of the night. This time, going to be playing a little bit of Overwatch. We have ourselves Georgian College versus St. Clair College for what I believe is the first time in either history or in NACE anyway. I do not ever remember getting the opportunity to play up against Georgian, so I'm looking forward to this matchup here. Best of 5 action here tonight. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners. Gonna be your host here for this evening. And of course, let's go through the lineups real fast as they're running towards the point. We have on the side of Georgian College, DPS, we have Laka Bleodin, Eric, and then on tank we have the Legend 27 himself. Everybody bow down. We also have Vic here, and on the support line we got Echo and Dr. Ticino. And then, of course, for the side of St. Clair, we have the tried and true combination here. We have G-Scales and Apostle, Bailable, Ubel, Arjunk, Cheesy. They're all here, and they are wiping this team fight like it's nobody's business. Should very well be able to get themselves into position to capture that point in just a moment's time. Seeing Apostle find the last 2 eliminations here, definitely going to be a fantastic start in their own regard. And sure enough, going to pick up the point and start gaining some points for themselves. Apostle, very aggressive position as of right now to be trying to hold on to, but does have plenty of backup right around the corner here with them, as we now do see Legend 27 trying to push his way through here. A little bit messy though. Shatter in the hands of Apostle, and actually doesn't even necessarily need it to take care of Legend 27. The nano boost coming out from Arjunk is just going to make him tanky as can be, but does eventually get taken down in the end. A little bit of a long range angle here for Bailable. Solid flanking action in that regard. There is still some tanks on the front line though. Cheesy here for St. Clair as well. Able to hold the point and at least keep St. Clair occupied for just a moment's time, or keep Georgian College rather occupied for just a moment's time. Georgian College going to opt to try and take the high road this time by, but it is going to be peppered down. Actually, a little bit of damage here on the Cheesy. He's going to get demeched pretty quickly, actually, but the Legend 27 is going to go down as well. The Saints haven't even necessarily needed to play anywhere near the choke point itself or in the actual pit area, because they've just been able to hold them constantly over and over here at the point. Apostle dives on through, not going to quite find it, but G-Scales is the one pushing everybody around. And yeah, they're basically spawn camping them at this point here on Lijiang of all maps, which you do not see too often. G-Scales looking for the opportunity, goes right in on the support line. Sleep Dart does connect, but it does not matter. 3 members instantly getting shredded here. G-Scales looking for more as well. Doctor is not in the office today, getting sent right back to the spawn room actually, and Bailable cleaning this one up. So just basically this first point here for Lijiang is going absolutely St. Clair favored. Nothing that to the side of Georgian College has been able to do. We do have a nano boost coming on out here. That's going to be Arjunk onto Apostle. Let's see if we can take a ride here with him. I do believe. No, it was on the Apostle actually. Does not matter. I do hear the Junkrat rip tire, but the overtime has been ticked, but there's nobody home. The Legend 27 was the only one able to get to the point, and they just got instantly knocked down. St. Clair with a dominating first round here for game number 1, but still plenty of time for Georgian College to try and make the comeback. And on a bit of a different style of map this time by, a lot more close quarters action. Lots of hallways for some spam damage, whether it be like a Junkrat or something with some decent AoE could work wonders. We do see a lot of spawn camping as well, making it so that he can't even make it past his doorway at certain times and just getting absolutely stuck. Laka is going to... That's going to give me a hard time here today. I'm not going to lie to you. Laka Belodin? Locke here is going to be here on the Junkrat, and actually we do see a switch over here from Bailable as well. There he is going to be picking up the Junkrat. Just having a Junkrat here is just too dang good, as we do see Bailable literally shredding through the rest of the team alongside the rest of the St. Clair lineup here. And look at these frag grenades just coming through and cutting off the angle that Georgian College would have used to retreat, instantly shredded down, and any of the damage that Bailable's been doing just gets instantly amplified when you do factor in the rest of the Saints members, as well as the fact that G-Scales is literally right there waiting to just shred. And we are actually getting extremely overzealous here outside the actual corridor itself. to just spawn camp as of this moment. The Saints just must be feeling so confident here today. Did not expect this at all when this was the matchup I saw on paper here today. We do see the Doomfist coming out here from Eric, trying to switch things up, maybe knock a couple of the Saints off the side, but it's been a tough road for them as of right now, especially with Apostle and G-Scales finding 2 eliminations before they even get the opportunity to really walk out this ship. Now it's going to be Doctor finding himself a faceplant off the side of the ship, unfortunately. They're going to just respawn with everybody, which, fair enough, everybody is still all grouped up together. 33% currently on the point here. Do see the flank coming out here. It's going to be an attempted dive onto Cheesy, but Cheesy does have available there. Yubel did actually get slammed there by Legend 27, so this could be the opportunity that Georgian was looking for to maybe get themselves into this game. The AoE damage is here. The nano boost is on to the Legend 27 as well. Vic has his back there with some shields, and everything seems to be going into their favor for at least a second, but G-Scales is finding a couple picks here and there. There are ultimates available too. I do hear a Dragon Blade, and it is going to find value. Takes care of 2. Gonna find another. Doctor has been taken down as well. G-Scales coming in clutch and just cleaning up what was looking like a lost fight, honestly, there for St. Clair. Now turns it around and puts them right back into the position of possibly scoring themselves a spawn camp. G-Scale finds his opportunity, and we're going to hear the Rip Tire coming in. This is from Locke. Where in the world is this tire coming on through? Can it find any value, or is it going to get shut down? Does explode, but does not find the mark that it was looking for. Very little damage. Maybe a little bit of damage onto Apostle, which is fair. And available alongside, I think that's going to be the shatter from Legend 27, actually. So they kind of trade back and forth, but Bailable going to clutch with a double, taking care of the support line from Echo and then taking Eric out as well. Arjunk might be the support, but he's absolutely killing it as well. Huge win here for St. Clair to start this off with a bang. Like, that was absolutely surprising, to say the least here. Did not expect that to go as quickly as it did. Play of the game going to be going over to Bailable. Is this going to be the Rip Tire, or this is the very beginning, actually? I think he just dumped a ton of frag grenades through this hole here alongside the bomb as well, instantly taking out 2 before they even got the chance to touch the point itself. And that is definitely a rough spot to be in, to say the least. Switch this up real quick. Don't mind me. There we go. Of course. There we go. Now switching it back on over here. So what a start, to say the least, here for St. Clair. Decisive in every which way. But of course, could have just been the map. That being said, though, looking at like some of the chat logs prior to the match here, that was the Georgian College's pick. They did want to go to Lijiang Tower themselves. So hopefully some of these other game modes that they're about to be taking part on are a little bit more comfortable. Otherwise, we might be in for a speed run, to say the least. And this isn't normally even the map that we see Saints pull off the spawn peak, or not the spawn peak, that's R6, but the trap, or the spawn trap, basically. If we see Havana for a game 3 or something like that, that could be absolutely nasty, because we've seen Saints do that to teams basically like the exact same level as them, if not sometimes a little bit better, able to get the hold. But that's just Havana and its nature. It's not just a Saints thing. We have seen other teams do that as well. But just interesting, and to say the least, to see how quickly that first one went. Map number 2 is going to be Hollywood. So, okay, you can't necessarily, or I'm gonna say this right now, but I'm going to eat my words, I'm sure. I don't mind being wrong, though, so I'd say okay. But it is looking like Hollywood for the next go-round here. Tell everybody that we're all readied up and good to go. Both of these teams eager to keep the ball rolling here. And we'll see if they can actually get themselves the carts rolling moving forward. Because, of course, for this map for Hollywood, of course, you do have to capture the first initial point. Then you get to push the cart as far as you possibly can, or to the very end. And the first part of Hollywood, to be fair, lots of high ground to abuse. So I can imagine the side of Georgian College being able to find a solid hold there for at least a little while. I do believe, based off of what we saw there in game number 1, that the Saints will be able to break it eventually. But I'm not 100% sure exactly how much time they would have left on the clock. What can they make use of with that? However, for the side of St. Clair, maybe we will see a full hold here. That being said, I'd love to be wrong, so let's go figure out for ourselves. Game number 2, Hollywood, just about to get underway. We do seem to have lost available. Okay, yeah, we're going to do a bit of a reboot here. Unlucky, to say the least there. Unfortunately, Bale did disconnect from the lobby, so we're going to just quickly do a quick reboot there. But okay, yeah, he reconnected pretty quickly, so not going to be too much of a tech issue, to say the least. His game got locked up in the window. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Sometimes that does happen. 3, 2, 1. Let's get into it. Was wondering if we had to get ourselves an actual full restart, if he was going to be able to join in, but he's back in here. We have the next map, of course, on hand, like we were talking about earlier, going to be Hollywood. I would be very, very surprised if there's any spawn camps here. Saints going to be on the defensive side of things first, too. We'll get to see. They're going to basically be able to set the bar, to say the least here. Of course, capture point going to be right here around the vehicle, but it's going to be up to everybody else here from the side of Saints to hang on to that. Keep Georgian College off of it. And we do see a tried and true combo, at least for this season. We've been seeing a lot more Bailable Farah alongside the Yubel Mercy, and Eric just got absolutely popped. That is going to be a rough spot to be in, and Genji is not exactly the greatest at trying to deal with this pharmacy combo. I would not be surprised to maybe see a quick switch here as we see G-Scales basically just picking up the pieces and shredding it. Eric instantly does switch on over to the McCree, so fair enough. They just do not have the tools necessary to deal with the pharmacy combo, with the rest of the Saints just piling in on them, as Cheesy's going to find himself double basically in the front lines alongside our Junk and the rest of the squad here. And I said that we wouldn't see a spawn camp. I had a feeling that I would be eating my words. I think we might just very well be doing that here today. They're going to come around the corner here. The McCree is going to be shown. And okay, Bailable nearly did get popped there, so Yubel does have to be careful to keep him topped off. And actually, Eric's doing a good job. He is going to get shredded down, though. Apostle from the back line. You don't usually see the tank flanking, but when they fixate so hard on one of your DPS players, you can absolutely just turn and burn, and that lets everybody on the Saints just absolutely slaughter through. Team kill once again here. And just the amount of like positional dominance and just the gun skill right now, and the whole everything in general just seems to be going in Saints' favor. Legend 27 going to have his shield eaten up before they even breach the very corridor itself. 2 members already down, make it a third. Bailable going to find Eric once again here. There's Apostle right in the front line. Okay, they did manage to keep Cheesy alive. The sleep dart was on point, but nice little shield there from Apostle, keeping everybody all topped off and good to go. Our Junk hanging on, nearly gets taken out, but we now do have the bongo coming out here from Apostle, and alongside the barrage, this could be nasty. It is absolutely going to be. That's going to be a double kill. Make it a triple quad if you include the mech. So everybody just gets instantly deleted, and this just doesn't even look fair, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Saints just completely keeping them stuck in their base. Might be just a case here for Georgian College just to honestly just try to farm 6 ultimates or 5 ultimates as fast as possible and see what they can do. The Shatter is just going to instantly get eaten by Apostle. Good positioning on that shield to make sure that none of his teammates did get knocked down. But we do have another pause here. This time our Junk going to be calling it out here. Our host is trolling. And okay, that might be a little bit odd to say the least here. I guess that happens every once in a while. We're going to switch this back up here. So, the rules were not properly set for competitive. Apparently, it was set for quick play rules, which means, according to the rule set, that is a map reboot. So, if anything, this kind of helps Georgian College a little bit, because they know right away exactly what they are going to be dealing with this time by. Like, if you're expecting the pharmacy combo, you aren't going out there and dying 3 times before you have the composition that you want. You can go out there right away, assuming that St. Clair is going to pick up this exact same composition, but That being said, Saints could very well make the switch, but I mean it was working. Don't fix what isn't broken. But definitely lots of intel and strategy being shown over here to the side of Georgian College. So interested to see, of course, what they can manage to do with that in the end here. Okay, yeah. Gonna be fixing that up right now. Let them know the production's good to go. And we are pretty much set to try this one again, to say the least. Big shout out to everybody already tuning in here for this matchup. By the time everybody comes piling in, this matchup might be done at the way this game is going. But, of course, good to see everybody in there. I see a couple go Bales, go Arjunk, go Ubils. That's what I like to see. Everybody cheering everybody on. So, thank you again for that. All right. Let's try this again, why don't we? That moment when you're hitting the wrong keyboard. Production 101. This rule that I break constantly is to never point out your own mistakes while you're on broadcast. But I am the absolute worst at it. Or I like to tease myself ever so slightly to work on mistakes in the future. Speaking of production, if anybody does want to learn how to work production, whether it be behind the scenes or as a commentator, and you are a student of St. Clair, don't even have to be an esports student, just a student of St. Clair, be sure to give me a message on Discord and we can get you up here and trained up and level you up as we go. No previous experience necessary. I'll help teach you from scratch. Alright, go round number 2 here. Let's see if Bale and Ubel and the rest of the Saints squad can tear through the defense, or the offense rather, of this Georgian College attack. And it's being resisted much better this time from Georgian, at least as of right now. They did really draw out some utility though, and that's going to be where the trouble lies. They did manage to get the invulnerability beacon there from Echo's Baptiste, and that basically sealed the deal after that. Sure, they made the save onto 1, but then that means you can just burst the rest of the squad once that disc is down. And the Saints absolutely going to clutch that one up. But compared to the last round when they would have had maybe like 2 minutes or like 1:30 left on the clock, but due to the reset, we are now, of course, here with the 3-minute and 15-second mark. Still lots of time here for the side of Georgian College to make the change here, and I kind of like what they're doing. They're trying to think of something divey, but it really relies on if they can actually keep this Winston alive, and as of right now, they're not going to be quite able to do so. G-Scale, Slice, and Dice going to take care of Echo, and now the rest of the Saints piling on through. Bailable does go down, but this is why you have a Mercy. This is exactly why, and you have Ubel there with the save. Getting the Resurrection, juicing everybody up with damage as well, and once again, Georgian College just having themselves an extremely difficult time trying to breach. And this is where things get nerve-wracking when I see constant switches. You're never going to build any ult charge if you keep switching heroes. And eventually, you just have to take it and go for it and just try and build some ultimates and just dump it all at once. That being said, right now, Georgia College is probably one of the better breaches that we've seen from them, but unfortunately, they could not quite clutch it out. They do manage to find G-Scales. Eric is going to dump out the Deadeye, but it's not going to find any value here. Apostle available. Just going to absolutely shred through the rest of this squad here. That was the best chance Georgian College has had, and yet Saints haven't had to really blow an ultimate except maybe the nano boost there from Arjunk, which, to be fair, comes back up online very quickly. Legend 27 is just going to pick up the Roadhog, which, let's be honest, is just a massive meat shield here for the rest of the Saints squad to try and get, unless he can land the hook, which can absolutely turn things around. Do not get me wrong here. Bongo from Apostle here as well, here to juice a bunch of extra damage. Big damage amplification for them, and he's actually just amplifying himself, apparently. Get himself the double kill. Apostle's Arisa. The Arisa is not a very fast hero, but yet he's still hunting these opponents down like it's nobody's business with the help of the rest of his teammates, of course. Looking for Cheesy here. I would imagine the Flux is coming out very soon. Okay, Eric, you just got popped, my friend. Unfortunate, to say the least. That being said, though, G-Scales, he's feeding. He gets absolutely smoked by the Legend 27 himself. But it doesn't even matter. Instantly revives. What are you talking about? I didn't die. I'm still in the fight. Bailable did pop the barrage in that one, and right now with a minute left on the clock, there is only one ultimate, maybe two ultimates on the side of Georgian College, and they're both defensive ultimates, not anything that is going to be able to really help them breach through this. I really worry for them, to say the least. Cheesy hanging on to this Flux. As soon as they start to kind of group up, it is going to be absolutely nasty. Eric is just looking for flanks, but Apostle does end up going down. It's actually going to be Echo who takes care of him this time by. Can they get the res onto him? Maybe not necessarily, and actually, there we go. It's going to be Georgian College finally going to be able to breach out of here. Deadeye is going to take care of Cheesy, and Locke here is also going to be able to take care of one, and instantly going Sky Junkrat and blast Bailable down. Big to see, but we do have to worry about G-Scales. Dragon Blade is in action, but he's completely getting focused. Honestly, good focusing here from the side of Georgian College. They're popping as much as they've gotten. They got a bunch of ultimates last second, and to be honest, they're on the point. They've gotten one tick. They will not be skunked here at the very least, but with the Saints kind of on the defensive disadvantage here, having to run back, this could be troublesome. Slice and dice here coming up from G-Scales. Can they finish them off? Legend 27 does go down. They nearly find themselves 2 ticks, but the Saints are going to be able to get back in time to make sure they do not get the point. In theory, this round is going to last 30 seconds. But I would love to be wrong. I still have faith in Georgian College. I don't mean any of my comments here in regards to any disrespect or like negativity towards them, to say the least. Just the Saints just seem to be on another level here today with their defensive side of things, and I can only imagine one of the first times here we're going to really see them on the attacking swing of things. I can imagine if that does kind of go through, it'll be brutal. And we have ourselves a disconnect. So this is not what we were hoping to see here. Okay, hang tight. We're still here for a second. Everything seems to be happening all at one time here. We'll get this all fixed up. Just give me a quick moment to try and fix this one back up, and we'll see if we can hop in on the Saints attack. Okay, well, that was unfortunate. Just the random disconnect going to throw an additional wrench into the swing of things here for today's broadcast. But at the end of the day, from what I understand, because it was only us that disconnected, all the players are A-OK, to say the least, for the time being anyway. And it basically happened from what it sounded like, asking the players. It happened exactly as I was kind of thinking. The first attack there from the Saints just absolutely plowed through. So unfortunately, weren't able to quite see that here for all of you, and I do apologize for that. Hopefully, the disconnect on the game side of things, server side of thing, was just a one and done from me here. But we're about to get into game 3 in just a moment's time. Apparently, Cheesy is on the end of a rope, according to the chat. I have no idea what this is all about, but we're memeing in here at this point, like playfully, of course. No disrespect to anybody, but we have one of the players, Eric, on the side of Georgian College, going to do a quick PC reboot. Apparently, was having some troubles as well. So again, thank you for sticking with me here. A bit of an odd, little bit of an odd one here today for this Overwatch matchup. Just constant. Not constant tech problems, but a couple wrenches nonetheless. Big thank you again to everybody for tuning in. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point here. It's been a while since we've gotten the opportunity to have a Mr. Danner's solo cast, to say the least. I have to get back into the swing of things. But of course, like I was saying before, any St. Clair College students out there, regardless of your experience in esports or esports production, commentary, whatever it may happen to be, willing to teach it here, right here on the Saints Gaming CA broadcast. Just give me a message on Discord. Let me know that you're interested in doing so, and we'll set things up. We'll work, of course, we are in person still, but a little bit of hands-on experience, to say the least here. Probably not going to find those kind of offers in very many places, so definitely recommend giving it a try if it's something that you even have like the slightest of inklings that you might be interested in. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, you didn't lose nothing. But going into game 3 just a second. Okay, let it not be Havana. Let it not be Havana. I don't want to have to call somebody after this. Okay, Route 66. Okay, this is a little bit different at least. I mean, apparently you can't spawn camp in Hollywood, and I was completely wrong in that regard. Let's see what happens as time by for Route 66. I mean, you do, of course, have the 2 entrances, but I feel like it's a little bit easier to kind of spawn camp here. And with this being a purely escort mode, I mean, it just takes one opportunity and you can start getting some good distance on the cart. But with how this game has been going, I think you and I both know that it might be, that might not be the case, to say the least here. I'm getting some R's in the chat, so let's get this one going. Team getting ready to hop into possibly the final game here. Unless Escort just seems to be Georgian College's map, we could have ourselves a quick one here tonight to finish off our NACE Starleague doubleheader. But without further ado, let's get into this one. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look at the spawn point, because I mean, normally we don't take a look at this kind of thing, but it is actually something to consider. Granted, around the spawn area, there is a lot of cover for some of these players that come through on their attack, but the actual initial spot themselves, all of these can be held from the front for the most part. There's no like sideways way for like any sort of good flanking, really. So that could be troublesome if teams opt for a very aggressive defensive position. But for the most part, you'll oftentimes see this entire street basically be given up to opt for the gas station hold here. Right up top, we do see the teams coming on through here. Legend 27 and the rest of the squad all here good to go. You still have a lock there on the Junkrat as well, and they're actually going to opt to fall on through here. A little bit of fire strike damage, but let's see how far until they actually contest. We do see a very dive-oriented composition coming out here from the Saints that could be scary. Yubol's going to be the first to fall, actually. So The break finding a little bit of awkward start to say the least. Arjunk, though, going to be on the Zenyatta, so a good double of damage as well as some healing. And Apostle going to tear right on through here with the Wrecking Ball. A good start for him. Instantly pinning the Legend 27 as well. Very tough spot now. Once again for Georgian College, after a bunch of their members fall, let's not get motion sickness here running along with Apostle for too long. Where are they going, actually? Are they going to go past the point? Because they just need one person on the cart, and it'll slowly but surely keep on moving forward. If they can keep them trapped, this would be so odd, to say the least. You see Apostle once again going on through, but honestly, good punish here from Georgian College. Instant sleep dart coming out here from Echo, and that does just shut that push down. Available's Pulse Bomb is going to take care of Echo, however, but Doctor and the rest of the side of Georgian College are right there to try and keep this one from going to the full point. We're right on the doorstep, to say the least here. Arjunk, oddly enough, of course. Zenyatta has support, like I was saying, decent damage as well as decent healing, and he's got the high ground as well. Normally, you do not like to get yourself really like separated from your team at all, but when nobody's there to dive you, you are just absolutely a-okay to do as you see fit. And as the cart does manage to get on through, the Saints are already pushing into this point, getting ready for the next possible fight, and they're pushing them right to the second checkpoint, basically. We are going to see Arjunk starting things off strong. Legend 27 is unfortunately just finding himself out of the fight within seconds of time and time again. G-Scale's flanking from the side as well. Not only is Saints just like brute forcing it, but they're getting just flanked from the side as well. Cheesy's popping off here on the Roadhog as well. And who the heck has cart duty right here? Because that's got to be a bit of a feels bad. Apostle's just chilling. Literally drinks out, umbrella out, just cruising at this point. Has ultimates if anything goes wrong as well. But we do have the Deadeye coming out here from Eric. Is it going to find anybody? I know that G-Scales was flanking, but not going to find it just yet. Locke has the wheel. They find an opportunity. This is an insta-kill for most heroes if it doesn't land, but he ran out of time, actually. Saints timing that out exactly as they needed to, and that is going to just completely negate that ultimate, as we see the Saints death balling it now right here onto it, with the only exception being the Tracer of Available, which does get taken down here. Good shots here from Locke to blow him up, but meanwhile, they still have to deal with the rest. Whole hog in hand, and you are not long for this world there. Lockable, unfortunately, gets instantly taken down from the combo by Cheesy. The good little sleep dart again. If there's one thing that stands out here from this Georgian College squad, it's that Echo is on point here with these sleep darts, finding some serious value. Just unfortunately not able to get a full capitalization on it for the most part. Arjunk from the hilltops, or from the top, is looking to take care of the Legend 27. Will not get it, but that's exactly where Cheesy comes in. Whole hog in hand, and just absolutely lighting the field on fire. Available going to clean things up here. And where is the cart? We see Apostle still just chilling at this point on the cart. The rest of the Saints just right by the spawn point, it looks like. And this is actually a spot where it can be very, very hard to try and breach. So a little bit tough here for this side of Georgian College once again. It's going to be the Coalescence coming in here from Doctor as well. Nano Boost, they're trying to blow everything to try and shut this down one more time. Legend does go down. You're getting attacked from all sides. There's not much you can do in that situation. Nice little reflect here from G-Scales to take care of Eric. We have one more from Vic. It's going to be the Flux coming out, going to do some okay damage, but it does not matter. All that time, Apostle was still on the cart. So, 3 points into the scoreboard here for St. Clair. Lots of time in the bank. Georgian College, at the very minimum, need to get themselves all the way to this 3rd point. And we'll see if the Activision Blizzard gods are going to be with us here today and not disconnect us in the middle of the Saints attack. But, well, it looks like if it didn't attack me, maybe it attacked somebody else. I do see the PM chat for pause, so we are probably going to take ourselves a quick breather once again. And Eric, again, had the reboot to try and fix things up, but is not going to quite finalize the fix, to say the least. So we're on pause for just a slight bit more here. after a very, very decisive attack from St. Clair once again. Just able to breach his 5 with enough efficiency to the point where you can just leave Apostle on the card. That is some confidence, to say the least here. And for Georgian College, I mean, taking a look at the lobby, they're like, okay, just one more game, right? But at the same time, though, you never know, could absolutely turn it around. They just need one really good set of attacks here, to say the least. Quickly trying to take a look and see what's going on. Eric is in the lobby, so we should probably be getting back into this one in just a moment's time. I know lots of starts and stops and reboots and randomness happening here in the broadcast here today. But again, like I was saying before, thank you all for sticking with it. And he's going to be a bit. Of course he is. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Take a look at chat here for a second. I normally do not get the opportunity to do this, but if we have a bit of a breather, let's go say hello to the Twitch chat. Of course, I'm going to be on a little bit more of a delay here compared to all of y'all, but let's take a look. Okay, yeah, we're laughing at Apostle. Yeah, fair enough. Has the umbrella out and everything during that push. Let's just say he looked very comfortable, to say the least, going forward with that one. Oh, he got stuck in the emote. Right. I'm sure that is a thing. But of course, awesome seeing you all. Even with a match that's a little bit interesting and a little bit of tech issues, again, I can't stress it enough. I thank you all for joining me here today. We have Eric back, so we're going to get ourselves into possibly the final round here for this matchup. Georgian College definitely have quite the mountain to climb here, to say the least, as St. Clair been pretty well dominant in this entire series up to this point. Whether it be defense or attack, it just seems like they have not been quite able to find their footing. Now, are we going to see Saints do something standard? I see a Bastion. We're definitely not doing something standard, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, it's been working all series. I guess you just do it again. Here, does he realize that hammer is showing? Apostle's stealth level is 0. But what about his strength? We'll see here in just a second. Dives on through. Okay, this is basically just a breach. Brutal combination coming out here between Apostle and G-Scales, between the Reinhardt and the Doomfist. I mean, Bailable didn't even have to set up. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Like, why are you doing this? This is going to be absolutely brutal, to say the least. We have Bastion all set up. That's going to be Bailable in a position to just absolutely rain terror from the top of the train tracks, or from the train car, rather. Opting to go to the low grounds, but this is actually a vulnerable position. Yeah, Bailable's got to think a little bit twice here. They're able to focus them down every single time they get the turret out. But the one who's been really causing havoc has been Apostle and G-Scales. Apostle does actually fall. Echo here on the Zenyatta. So far, so good, to say the least. Waiting to see like when the go time is here for G-Scales. He dives on through. That's what Cheesy does manage to get one. And honestly, good little switch here from Locke. Does switch on over to the Echo. There's not necessarily a whole heck of a lot that can deal with aerial combat as of this moment. Bailable is down. Legend 27 taking him down. So there we go. The cart is being pushed. 4 members on it. This is probably a solid opportunity now here, as Locke is maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew. Looking for the flank, and got absolutely destroyed by 3. So unlucky in that regard here. That's going to be the shatter that got both the Reinhardts maybe, but I think that's about it. G-Scales takes care of Death Riptide there on the side of Georgian College, where it's a cart as of this moment, right around the corner. A little bit of a mech warrior battle happening in this one, as Vic trying to charge on through. Bailable, if Bastion could snipe, to be an interesting position nonetheless. That's going to be the Transcendence coming out here now from Echo to just get everybody to the cart, which, to be fair, this now gives them the position, but it's up to Death Riptide here if he can actually capitalize. We do have the ult coming out here from Bailable. The tank is rolling in. Does not get away with it scot-free, however. Robot parts just flying all over the place here. and that is going to cause St. Clair to actually lose this fight completely for the most part. It is all up to Cheesy and G-Scales as of right now to try and defend this. Georgian College on the verge of scoring themselves a point here in this one. That's going to be the Echo being transformed into the Diva. Can he get himself a Diva Bomb, however? Yes, you get your charge quickly, but he instantly gets demexed. Did not find the value that Locke was hoping for. And with Echo going down, that's probably going to be trouble. Has a beam out, but G-Scale's going to get out with just a nick of time. There is a little bit of revenge as well. Available doesn't even need turret form. Just playing around on the sign of all things. Making it work, to say the least. And actually finds Doctor in that situation as well. Sends him right back here. And okay, wait a minute. Oh, don't do it to him. Apostle from the top rope! Oh, he got slapped. That's so anticlimactic, unless he could still manage to get the flag. They haven't dealt with them from the top rope. The shatter from behind! Massive damage coming out here from Apostle and the rest of the Saints. Absolutely, like, swanton bombing that, shatter, to say the least. Instant one-shot kill. That's the end of the match. Ring the bell. Absolutely killing it. I had to have my one pop-off per stream. I'm sorry, guys. The hidden robot. In his natural habitat. Lighting up Zenyatta's. Cleaning up the match. That being said, it's in a bit of an awkward position. Can they get here? Death Riptide is still all the way back at base. Where's the cart in this situation? Oh! Everybody's capitalized on it. Cleaned up. Saints are going to clean this one up in 3-0 fashion. Georgian College, granted, they were really starting to punish the Saints for some sillier plays towards the end there, which honestly, good on them. But were not able to score themselves a point this time by. Yeah, this was the initial brawl here that G-Scales and the rest of the Saints ended up doing there. That was definitely tough to deal with, to say the least. Is never, like, that's... I don't even know if I call that a solo queue strat. That is just... It's a cheese, basically. But why would I expect any less when we have Cheesy on our team, am I right? I'm a dad now, I can make these jokes, so success. But without further ado, not going to take too long with this one, of course, with the St. Clair Saints taking the 3-0, puts themselves in fantastic position in NACE once again, and we're taking a 3-0 with a very, very quick match as well. It's going to be very valuable towards any sort of tiebreaker scenarios, to say the least, going forward in the league. But still plenty of action to happen here this week. Matches every single day of the week, to the point where I sometimes have a hard time keeping track of it myself. Tomorrow, we have ourselves a bit of a triple, actually. Oh no, we have a double, not triple. We have NACC preseason for Rocket League. Is going to start us off around 6 o'clock, given that our opponent actually confirms the time. Then, 9 o'clock, we have some CCL Call of Duty action up against Michigan State. So, it'll be a bit of a late one, but an awesome one nonetheless, and still lots of action. It's not even the last time we're going to see our Overwatch squad here as well this week. We'll see them for a doubleheader on Thursday as well, and just matches all across the board. Wednesday, we'll get to see the Rainbow Six Siege team for the first time since their collegiate playoffs a week or so ago. League of Legends, of course, on Friday and Saturday. And then CRL Sundays. We just had one where our gold squad qualified. We get to see if green can make the run this time by. So plenty of action. My calendar is absolutely filled and gives me a little bulge on the side of my head every time I take a look at it, because there is just so much I want to broadcast and so little time. But that being said, big thank you to everybody tuning in. That was an interesting one, to say the least, but that being said, it's always a blast bringing the production and commentating for everybody here in the Saints Gaming CA community. So thank you so much for joining me once again. We'll close things out by giving a couple thank yous, not only to you, but of course to the sponsors that make this all happen. Of course, Crunchyroll, of course, if you haven't figured it out already, that is our one of our newer sponsors here has Jackson Coin. It's basically the Netflix of anime. Basically, any sort of anime you want will be on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll.com/Saints will get yourself a 14-day premium trial. Even if you're not the traditional anime watcher, give it a shot and see what you like, to say the least. You never know, might find yourself a hidden gem there. And apparently, this is a really good time for anime. I hear a lot of good, like, new seasons are actually happening. So, good time to join in. It would be right here, right now. Big thank you to Tim Hortons, Subway, the St. Clair SRC, the St. Clair College Alumni Association, as well as the St. Clair Zuckelman School of Business and Information Technology. Looking forward to continuing to work with all of you in the very, very near future, of course. And it's even just that much more exciting with the arena right around the corner. It teases me. I walk by it, seeing it under construction every single day, but I still have not gotten to see what my production room looks like and what the stage looks like. All I gotta say, once that's actually open, it's gonna be a damn good time. Without further ado, we'll close out here for the night. Again, big congratulations to St. Clair for the 3-0 victory, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for some more Saints esports action.